Well, wouldn't you know, right after doing a video about nostalgia and video games and how nostalgia is not that big of a deal to me, I'm coming up with a pretty nostalgic gaming memories video here. So, I decided that I wanted to talk about a game called Syphon Filter. Ooh. So, Syphon Filter and me go way back. Um, so I started off playing Syphon Filter pretty soon after I bought my PS1 way back in the day. Um, and I started playing it actually on a demo disc. And I believe it was the demo disc that came with my PlayStation, but I really can't remember for sure. But I don't think I was getting demo discs that early in any other way. Eventually, I ended up getting some through some like magazines, PlayStation Underground and stuff. But anyway, somehow I had this demo disc and it had Syphon Filter on it. And I was completely blown away. And I have this memory of me and all of my siblings, and then some of our friends. There was like probably like 5 or 6 of them. We were all sitting upstairs in my parents' house with the old school TV, playing the Syphon Filter demo disc and just playing the shit out of it. And I just remember how freaking excited I was. It just made me so happy in so many ways. And man, I'll tell you what, for the time, this gameplay was like light years ahead of everything else. It didn't have tank controls, so it was 3D, third person perspective, um, and you would run around like very, very good controls. R2 and L2, you could strafe back and forth. Circle, you could actually roll. You could sneak. There were some really fun stealth levels. There was like an automatic lock on for your weapon, or you could manually do it for like a headshot. The controls in this game were just absolutely incredible, especially like when you go back and play a lot of other, early PlayStation 1 third person games. The controls are usually pretty shitty, tank controls, etc. This was awesome. So incredible. Um, this was actually the first game I ever beat all the way through, which is kind of cool. I'll never forget how absolutely amazing I felt. My friend David Hawkins, I remember, would come over and I had a strategy guide for it. And like, I was so not into like not knowing where I was supposed to go. So he would literally sit there and read step by step what I was supposed to do, and I would do exactly what the strategy guide told me to do. So, um, I've come a long way as far as like playing these open world sandbox games where you just run around and do randomly whatever you happen to find. I used to be very, very much like I loved linearity. That was a thing for me. I guess that's a sign of growth or something. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, at the time, like it was so much fun though. He would just sit there with the strategy guide, reading out step by step, like exactly what to do, and we would just play through it. And I remember just finally beating the game, and I was just so ecstatic. And I ran downstairs and I told my mom, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I beat my first video game because we had a Sega Genesis, and of course, no save games, and I was a little too young to understand cheat codes. So I just never got through anything. As much as I know the first 5 levels of Sonic 2 like the back of my hand, and then some of the later ones like I had never even played until I was an adult. So, yep. So after Siphon Filter, um, came Siphon Filter 2. And let's see here. So this game was rated teen, and then they bumped it up to be mature. And I don't even think that there was any difference actually in the content. It was pretty gory for the time. Oh my gosh, one of the coolest things in this game was there was a taser, and you could lock onto the guy, and they would shake and smoke would start coming off of them, and then they'd light on fire and go ah. And as a kid, that was just so cool. I loved that so much. So when Siphon Filter 2 came out, I was ecstatic. I couldn't stop talking about it. I was going crazy, and I actually drove my friends absolutely nuts. I think I was either eighth or ninth grade, and I just remember one of my friends, Alex Medic, actually started making so much fun of me because every single person I would see, I'd be like, "Oh, Siphon Filter 2's coming out. Did you know this?" You know, and I would tell people. And so eventually, like, my friends started being like, "Dude, Siphon Filter 2's coming out. Oh my gosh, do you get Siphon Filter 2?" And then, so eventually I had to stop talking about Siphon Filter 2 and contain my enthusiasm. This game was just more of the same absolute brilliance. This was a 2 disc game, which was really cool. As you can see, I picked this up for $3, so I picked this one up for 4. These are super cheap games. I'm really happy to have really good condition, black label, complete copies of these. These are actually games that I would like to go back and play at some point. Super, super good. Just so much fun. There's been a whole bunch of new ones. I don't think they're any good, honestly. Like I played one of the newer ones on like the PS3. I played it for 5 minutes and I was like, this is garbage. But these ones were super legit, super good. One of the cool things too, and one of my best memories also, 2 of my best friends growing up, Michael and Pilgrim Metz, 2 brothers. We actually became friends right around the time that I got this game. And one of the things that brought us together, the 3 of us, and then my younger brothers also, was that we were all getting into gaming and getting pretty serious about gaming. So the first night that I ever went to spend the night at their house, I brought over my PlayStation and I brought over Syphon Filter 2, and we played the 2-player mode, and it was so much fun. We stayed up so late playing the 2-player mode, and I super suck at shooting games like headshots and shit, but back then I was like the king of headshots. Like I don't know why in this game I could just like headshot anything, like, and it drove them absolutely insane. And it's the one time that I was like king of the ring with a shooting game. Anymore, yeah, I suck completely, but back then apparently my skills were better. Must be about being younger or something. But just such a good series, and just so happy that I got to play these games. Um, these games, yeah, man, the gameplay was just so top notch. It'd be really fun to try playing 2-player again, but I will probably definitely play through these in the 1-player mode at some point. I just have a lot of games that I'd like to play. So, thought that I would share with you guys about some of my favorite games when I was a young lad. Alright, peace.